Hello again, folks. My name's Richard, and I'm here with Alberni gangstalking game, my story on gangstalking. Earlier I was out making those videos on basically explaining when I was pulled over by the police on my way home, constant harassment, as well as the harassment from gangstalkers. At the same time, the gangstalkers were working on me, and so were the RCMP, you see. And this all caused me mental anguish, bringing on my mental breakdown. In the summer of '07, they wrongfully accused me, wrongful suspicion. They expected me to confess to a crime that I did not commit. And because of their little bullshit with their watchers and their gang stalkers, who are nothing but a bunch of pedophiles, devil worshippers. But basically on this clip here, I'm just talking, this is for targeted individuals to remember, okay? That once you realize that you are in fact targeted, it's important to go out and get a camcorder. Not a digital camera, a camcorder. You want a camcorder. Camcorders, I mean, $200 to $500, you can get yourself a good camcorder, okay? I personally went with the Sony because my digital camera was Sony, and it's still working. It's durable and it was strong. This isn't a sales pitch for Sony or anything, but it's a good camera. And to spend an extra $100 comparing to might be a little bit more expensive than that, it's worth it. So that's something to consider. But even just for $200, you can get yourself a little camcorder that you could record with sound and everything. So and they're you really, if you are a targeted individual and you've just come to realize this, and you go to, especially to YouTube, here at YouTube, and you check out gang stalking, you'll find that there really actually isn't a lot of good footage of actual, that one you could say, okay, I can believe that this might be gang stalkers. Other than that, you're just people with camcorders filming people's cars or whatever. Like that doesn't really mean much. You need to, I mean, we can all drive around with camcorders, and hey, this guy in front of me is being followed. Well, you can't really prove much, so that doesn't make sense. So if you're just one of those people, go get a camcorder, and you can be one of those people that comes up with some really good footage of gang stalkers. And if you know how to do it without them letting you see that you have a camera, this is the thing. Catching them on film without them seeing that you're catching them on film. Compile all your evidence and your proof of these gang stalkers, and you might get somewhere, especially once you are, whether it has to be with wires or whatever. But a camcorder is important, and me personally, I went for the Sony Handycam you can see it there. It's the DCR SR47. That's their low entry camcorder. Okay, I can't remember the price. It was Staples, like $400 or something like that. And then. And the thing that I like about the Sony, this one anyhow, this is the optical zoom is 60 power, which is pretty good, because if one of these days when I'm out using this thing, I'm doing some filming, which I'll be doing soon outside, I'll lock onto something and I'll zoom in to show you that these are really, really good, especially on cases where if you go to gangstalkingworld.com, you'll see that you'll see the lady pushing the baby carriage with a cell phone, using the right hand over to the left ear, walking like this. Okay, this is a signal, right? Now, if you see, why would you do that? You can call like this, or you can hold your phone like this, but this is a signal amongst themselves, okay? When you see this is a signal. So when you're driving down the road, and you know you're being gang stalked, and you see this, and you see the obvious, that's a good giveaway, okay, for the right hand to the left ear, okay? When you see that, and you get that on film, that's great. You're driving down the road and you see that person, and it says, okay, now with one of these, you can go a mile down the road, okay, quickly go down a mile down the road. She doesn't, that person who's, of course, just one of the people contacting, they're always in contact with one another, okay? Now you can continue on down the road. If you can keep eye contact on her, right? Stop somewhere, go around the corner somewhere, quickly get out. If you've got a good tripod, okay? Because once you zoom in, you even move just a little bit and you're right off. You can't, your target is, you can't see it. So, but you'll be able to zoom way far away, where to the point where she might not even be able to see you, that you've got a camera on, because you've gone down the road so far away from her. But now you set it up, you can actually zoom right in on her and take a photo. You can take still shots of this as well. You can zoom right in on her and take photographs of her, or zoom right on her and film her with it. And that's an added bonus about having a good magnification, and that's what this one is. And it's the point and shoot, which is really good. You just hold it up and point. There you go. You turn it on, and it's going. You don't have to worry about the zoom. Is really good. It's self-adjusting zoom. Like once you zoom in, it'll focus. It's perfect. This is a really good camera. The only downside, from what I've read and what I understand about this camera, is that some say it's got a purple tinge to it, which I haven't really noticed. It's got a purple tinge to it. Some people have complained about that. And it's kind of the resolution isn't as good as the next models up. So if you want a good camera, better quality, spend another $100 or $200 and you'll get a better quality. But this is a perfect camera for anyone who's just being gang-stalked or realize they're being gang-stalked. Cameras are the most important thing. Okay, and another thing I like to talk about with the targeted individuals, remember that with one of these, walking is important, okay? Going for walks. You need your exercise, because remember what they're doing to you, and it's causing you a lot of mental problems, okay? A lot of mental stress. So, your exercise is important. Going for walks is important, okay? Now, from what I've seen, they'll get you when you're walking too. Even me, when I've gone for walks on trails here, I've set it up many times, and I've observed and everything that these things started to stand out more. I was born and raised here, and I lived here, and I've jogged the trails all the time. And when I want to go into the bush and be alone, okay, I've done that for many years. But suddenly, that no longer could happen. I could go off somewhere, and sure as shit, wherever I am, somebody's going to pass by me. Okay, and one thing that they all have in common when they pass by me, when I'm out in these walking trails and stuff, they're all people I cannot vouch for and say, hey, I've seen that person before in my small community. I've seen that face before. They're all people I've never seen before. Okay, now I know what you're going to say. I know this town ain't that small. Okay, I understand that, but nonetheless, every single person, it's never someone who hey, I've seen you before. I've seen you around before. It's always someone that. Someone that's not from here. They're paid gang stalkers, okay? They're part of the shithole that they come into this community. And there are some gang stalkers locally, but there are also more professional gang stalkers who will come from out of the community, other communities will come straight here for the purpose of their target, okay? So remember, your exercise is important. And when you're out in your walks, bring this with you. Because it's compact, you can really, you can carry this in your pocket pretty easy, okay? And if you notice something suspicious, it's easy to pop it out and boom, it's open, okay? You hit the button and you're filming, okay? And that's the thing that's good about to have these things, okay? And so remember, when you're walking, we all know how to walk, okay? So when we're walking, that frees up our mind, and that's really good, a stress reliever, walking. So remember that, targeted individuals. Find a walking path or something, and again, if you're smart and you'll set it up before you start walking at your walking path, remember, once they start knowing you're going to go there, they're going to start showing up. So if you do it properly, set it all up with your cameras, and you could, if you're smart and you know how to do it, you can set it up so that you can say, hey, you can point people out and say, hey, this person was no longer here, and now this person is suddenly showing up all the time, every time I do, and blah, blah, blah. There's ways of catching these people, okay? So remember your camera and remember walking. That's it for this video. I'll come back with another video another time. Thank you for now. Take care. Remember, God loves you more when you stand this in Him.